opposite Woodland Lodge and conifers. On my way down to Borsey Pits to have a quick look at the state of affairs over there, I found a rather dangerous situation. Now here, there is a piece of land next to here where somebody has messed with the drainage on here and created a very dangerous situation. It's all flooded there. It's like a bog and it stretches along here. Now I can see certain trees have been cut because they've toppled this way. Any of these trees could topple. When you let a piece of land flood like this next to a road, any trees along the edge here can topple into the road and kill people. That's why this is highly illegal and very dangerous. You have to either clear all these trees because of the risk or get this land drained. Why it hasn't been drained, I don't know. This was never like this before. The bases of these trees are fully submerged. It's been like this for years. I've noticed it passing in car. I noticed that the land was kind of flooded, but I never realised how the actual danger that existed here. A closer look at this was really scary as I cycled past. The people who came out and cut the toppling trees, I mean, someone should have recommended that this land was drained. So opposite the pub here, there's a building that went up around the same sort of time. A lot of this private signs went up all over the place, across Sandringham and different places across West Norfolk. Yeah, a section of Borsey itself was, you know, allocated for this building. I'm not sure why that happened, but there we are. There does seem to be quite there does seem to be quite a lot of new industrial units along this stretch of road. So now into Borsey Pits itself. I came here a few years ago and I went into the car park, and it was always a free car park, never any charges for parking here and walking here. And now you have to pay to park here, which I found rather strange. I thought all this land was allocated as, you know, common land for people to explore. So I don't know how it got privatised. I haven't walked in Borsey as much as others. I know there's a lot of people who walk a lot in Borsey and they know all the routes and everything. I would imagine that fences have gone up in different places on Borsey as well, and signs have gone up. I don't know how much of a backlash there was against that, and as you'll see later in this documentary, there has been a bit of a backlash in some places against the fencing going up and people being excluded from going on to common land they were allowed to go on, which obviously we have a constitutional right to access this common land. But yeah, so what's going on at Borsey, I'm sure other people will know a bit more about it. So as you can see from the pictures, Borsey Pits is absolutely gorgeous. This ex-quarry environment is absolutely beautiful. There's wonderful walks all the way around the lakes, and it's well worth a day out. Sadly, doesn't seem to be many people visiting here anymore. Whenever I've come up here, it's been totally empty. It just shows you that charging people to come to places which they should have open access to doesn't really work. I remember that they actually drained the pits here and did a bit of a clean-up operation, just to clean out any kind of material in the bottom of the lakes and stuff. And when the lakes were refilled, you know, the water was pristine, and I know that people used to swim here. And if you're careful, you can swim safely. You've got to be very, very careful. I'm not encouraging people to go and swim there at the moment because there's no actual safeties in place for that to happen. But I mean, obviously strong swimmers would probably be okay. But again, I'm not encouraging you to do that. There should be allowances and a safety equipment in place for that to happen, which I believe there was at one point, but it all seems to have gone now. I don't know. But anyway, I have had reports since the clean-up operation that people have been swimming in certain lakes and they've come out with welts all over them. So someone's seen fit to pour chemicals into the lakes. I don't know why that would be the case. It seemed a bit strange after a clean-up operation of that scale that something like that would happen. But yeah, well, some people just don't care, do they? So as I was leaving, I noticed that the exit point and entrance point onto this main car park at Borsey has got absolutely no allowances made for cyclists. I didn't see anywhere inside where you could secure a cycle, as in chain your cycle up. It makes me very dubious about this whole thing. I mean, this entranceway here, I can't imagine that this was signed off by anyone, because the council would require that cyclists were taken into account. You know, any sort of traffic management, any sort of new entrance arrangement like this. I mean, it just used to be like a no signs, no nothing. Well, you know, none of these speed bumps, and there's now a kind of an exit gate for, you know, if you pay you can get out and stuff. But none of that was there before. So when all that was done, it should have been signed off properly. It should have been planned, gone through planning permission and signed off. So it makes me very dubious that this was done officially, because an official inspection of this and an official arrangement of this would have taken cyclists into an account. There would have been a bit of pavement here for people. There would have been, you know, a way for cyclists to get in here quite easily. I mean, there's a gap in the middle of, you know, of the speed bump. But I mean, how do cyclists get back out again? You're supposed to go out on the way back in. You know, there's no way for cyclists to get out. So I mean, it's very strange. So I left the pits and moved on down the main road and turned off towards Ashwicken, because I noticed some problems here last time I walked here, and other times I've walked here previous to that. I'm just in Ashwicken here. There's a lot of new houses here, lots and lots of new houses built very recently. There's lakes over that side. I'm trying to find a walk that goes that way, just because I've noticed things that happened over there. I just wanted to show you this. I mean, this looks like it's been like this for some time here. That is very dangerous. I can only assume that any complaints about this road by the local residents here are just wholly ignored by the council. As I've said before, the A10 between Downham and Kings Lynn is absolutely atrocious. It's terrible, and rough roads damage cars, then damaged cars break, and then crashes happen. So it's actually criminal, the state of the roads. So I'm moving further south down this road to where my walk will begin, to show you the common land that has been fenced off. So I've just come off the road here. There are pathways into the woods here. This used to all be open access. There was never a fence here. Someone's put a fence in, but I can see there's a couple of places where the fence people have been like, you know what I mean? They don't like the fence being there. Someone's ripped it down. Like here, for instance, I'll show you this gap. There's a path here, and looks like someone's decided to rip the fence out. And a bit further up there, there's a gateway that was put on, and I'm just going to have a quick look at it. With the further evidence I'm about to show you, it does seem like this fence has probably been ripped down. So here you've got signs pointing that way and that way, but there used to be a sign here that used to point this way as well. Now if you go down this path, it takes you to a gate. Now this gate, I have seen it locked at times, but this was always a footpath through onto the land beyond there. Normally I always walk from the other end and walk this way. I got a bit confused, I thought that's where I was, but I've figured out the lay of the land here just by looking around. Oh, I am actually at the other end, so that's fine. So this gate here used to be locked. Now I'm not going to walk through there. Normally I would walk through there. Oh, I might actually have a quick look. Yeah, I might do. So this sign here should have an arrow pointing to the left as well. It doesn't. If you do go to the right there's lovely walks in that direction, but this sign has been replaced by this one. There should be a sign pointing through where I'm about to go.
So the pathway here, you know, the path's still here. It's a little bit impassable because of trees in theory that have fallen over. I'm not sure why they've fallen over, but
I'm about to go through that gap in the bushes over there, which is actually quite delightful before. This is one of the kids' favourite little spots.
so I've just emerged from there. Now this walkway along here you can still walk along, but there's barbed wire fences, and all that land beyond there you used to be able to get onto. It was all common land, but I believe it's fenced off now. You can still walk along here, I believe, and this kind of meets up at the end of the road I was on. It meets up with a path that goes across, and it goes across that way. I know there's other walks around here. The locals will know a lot more than I do. I wouldn't even mind other people making their own documentaries of places that have been fenced off and private signs been put up, but I haven't got time today, and I don't know this area as well as some. I'm just going to cover the bits I know, so I'm going to go this way and meet up with a path and go around.
So the walks around here are absolutely delightful. I mean, it's criminal that these fences have been put up and all this barbed wire been put here.
So as all of this land here is common land, all these fences that have been put in, and you know, to fence this off, I believe there might be a gateway or two with a private sign on it, because I've walked through there before with my girlfriend, and we've remarked that on the gates there are now private signs, and there wasn't even gates there before. So, and there's fences and there's barbed wire everywhere. I'm sure barbed wire is illegal in this country, so I don't know why there's barbed wire everywhere. Yeah, it's very dangerous, barbed wire.
Just hanging my camera over this bush here, I can see more fences fencing off this common land. So my present location is at that little pink dot.
As you can see here, someone's actually tried to barbed wire across here. They've put fenced across here. They've put a fence in. There's evidence that someone actually fenced this off. Now this is a footpath. It even says it's a footpath. But I mean, there's a dodgy sign there. But there's a dog poo place, which is just ridiculous. So you should go to the toilet like the rest of us. So yeah. So the fence has been ripped out by someone who knew that they could walk there. So then whoever decided to fence this all off gave up. Do you see what I mean? But it was part of the land grab that went on. The privatisation around the same sort of time as it happened at Sandringham. Anyway.
Just a couple more little images of the fencing there. So I'm going to be moving west in the direction of that arrow there, along this track, to show you some more of the problems that are going on here. All this land here used to be walkable, common land. I haven't hashed all of it out there, but you get the general idea. You could pretty much walk everywhere here before. So I just took some images as I was walking down. See more fencing that's been put in to deter people from walking on land which they have open access to.
More fenced off areas here. New fencing that was put in. And guess what? Yeah, barbed wire again. Lovely walks beyond there.
So I'm walking off down the track alongside this horrible looking fence. You can walk all the way along that pink line there. So to my left, which is south, lovely, there's lakes over there as well, and lovely woodland, lovely places you could walk. That whole area, very, very nice. I have walked there, obviously, before they put all these fences up. I've walked there with my girlfriend, and it's absolutely gorgeous, absolutely stunning, stunningly beautiful over there. And yeah, and now all you get is barbed wire fences and a tantalising look across at land which you have a right to access, but you're not allowed to at the moment. I don't know how these fences can stay up. I mean, it's against our rights to walk on common land, so I don't see how local people can just decide to fence land off as they see fit. It just, I don't know.
So there's two fences here. They've been quite determined. There's barbed wire here as well. You used to be able to walk across these fields. It's all common land. It is common land because you can't take common land back. I mean, you can put fences around it and say it's yours, but this is common land. So I've walked on there, you know, before the fences went up. So yeah.
So this is land to the right of the path, which would be north. Once again, I have walked there and it's very beautiful. There's a lovely lake towards the east of that section of common land. A very beautiful place to explore with your children. And yeah, now we have barbed wire and gates, and you're about to see the full extent of the nightmare that is shortly.
So the lake that lies beyond this fence here, I'll just lift the camera so you might be able to see it. I've walked around there before this fencing went up. You know, it wasn't private. This was all designated for public access.
Just a few more pictures of the fencing and the tantalising, you know, lovely land beyond the fencing that we can't get to anymore.
So I just wanted to show you over here this gateway that is a gateway and a fence being put on common land. I just want to show you the way these men operate. Look at this. Barbed wire. I assume there was barbed wire going across the top of this gate. Someone's cut it or something. But look at it, look at the state of it, look how it's been left. Look at it, I mean, even there, further along, it's absolutely nightmarish. They've even put a sign there, razor barbed wire. Well, it's not razor wire, it's just barbed wire. It says conservation area. Now this is common land. Yeah, this isn't a conservation area. A conservation area is somewhere in a town where certain architectural archetypes are adhered to. That's what a conservation area means in law. That's what it means. Yeah, that's a misapplication of a legal term. Now this is common land. There's a lake over there, which was all public access. But until you got a load of people who locally decided to privatise around the same time it happened at Sandringham, no entry now. You can't go onto land that the people own. Yeah, it's all fenced off. I would imagine they've put some sort of slaves on here at some point. Hence the barbed wire, or maybe they just like to put barbed wire on to hurt people. I mean, that path I walked along there, it's barbed wire all the way along. You fall over, you know. Right, and there's another fence just across there, which sections off another part of the same land. It goes further. They put barbed wire across there. I assume it's barbed wire, there's a fence there. You can't fence off common land like this.
It is not legal in this country to not deny people access to common land. Common land rights are ancient, and any land which is designated as common land can not be taken back again. It is protected in law, and what's happened here is they've barbed wired a load of common land off, I believe, to probably put livestock on there to develop commercially and privately, not for the benefit of everyone. I mean, I don't eat meat, I don't eat dead bodies anyway, I don't agree with any of that. But you can't do that on common land. It's not a commercial activity. Common land is there to supply people with spaces that they can access. And for them to put a conservation area sign up is just a ridiculous way of trying to say we're trying to preserve the land, when in actual fact all they're trying to do is stop people going there so they can just probably start shooting on there or like I said, put commercial slavery on there. It's just an absolute disgrace. this land is intended for the people. And like I said on my Sandringham documentary, if people that live on the land, like other species, you know, your birds and your deer and things, if they're fed and housed and looked after, then you don't need to set aside special land for them to live out their ecosystems and live out their sort of torturous starvation, freezing to death lives. You know, the future is embracing other species and looking after each other. But I mean, this is just it's a non-legal way of people trying to just grab land. It's part of a region-wide land grab that I believe is going on. That I have evidence to support the idea that this is going on. But I mean, you can make your own conclusions from what I've presented.
This is disgraceful, absolute disgraceful. When you reach 18 years old, you're supposed to know the laws, and this is definitely not what adults who have rights in this country should have to put up with. And children as well, because children used to be able to walk here and frolic across these fields. Not anymore. So I'm at another entrance point to this same land. They've even put their name on this, Norfolk Farm Produce. They're the ones that have all this dangerous barbed wire. Look at that. So it says on here, no entry, trespassers will be prosecuted. Well, you can't prosecute trespassers unless they actually commit a crime, and the crime would be some sort of damage of some sort. Yeah? Do you know what I mean? So this is common land. This is the same land. There's a barrier here of new bush has been put in. But yeah. Now this group here, Norfolk Farm Produce, they might not be responsible for the annexation of that land, but they are responsible for the annexation of this piece of common land here. You can't buy common land from anyone. You can't even buy it from a council. It's protected under law beyond that. It's national law, constitutional law. Anything that's common land cannot be resold ever. It's held in perpetuity under the monarch's, you know, supervision, as it were. And I know the Queen wanted all this common land for the people, so otherwise it wouldn't have been maintained for so long, because she in theory could have, you know, signed it away again, which there would have been uproar about it. But when you get people just deciding to do what they want, you know, it's not cool, is it?
So actually finding out who decided to fence off all this common land, I wouldn't know where to start, to be honest. But yeah, I would imagine it's got to be some local people who've done this, and I don't know how they're getting away with it. I don't know how people aren't, you know, there is an uproar about all of this, because when people lose their common land spaces, they get very upset. It kind of suggests, I mean, is there some kind of intimidation going on across this region? Are people being intimidated by, I don't know, gangs of men who are deciding where people can go and what they can do? I don't know. It points to something like that going on, but you know, without, you know, actual evidence of who this is, who's doing these things, I couldn't really comment any further on that. But yeah, we certainly don't want to be pointing fingers at people who haven't actually done anything wrong.
Another sign here saying trespassers will be prosecuted. Trespassers will be prosecuted signs are illegal because you can't prosecute people exclusively for trespass. There has to be other crimes involved. People sometimes have to go across land, and as long as you're not breaking anything. What is illegal, because you have a right to roam in this country, is to have a gate that's locked. So I just want to inform local farmers about all of this, because they seem to be a little bit, you know, they seem to think they can just do what they want and not follow the law. I'm not sure what's down there. It's a gate with a lock on it. I'm not going to hypothesise about that, but I don't know if that used to be one of the footpath walks through there or not. I don't know. I can't recall, because it's been some years since all this happened. I remember walking here, I remember frolicking across those large pieces of common land there. Wonderful walking around the lakes and stuff like that, on both sides of this track as it goes down through that way. But yeah, and then all the coming down here subsequent years and finding all the fencing there. But yeah, so this is the end of this walk more or less. It goes down this way and back to the road. If there's anything else to say, I might take another film, but I'm not sure if there will be or not. Well, I did have to say something about this. There are paddocks here with barbed wire and what looks like an electric fence. So a couple of ways of torturing animals there. Something that will rip you open, something that will electrocute you. And inside, there's slave horses. I really don't agree with the slavery of horses. I think it's absolutely disgusting. So, yeah. More barbed wire, more fences in a dangerous state. Look at this. Look at it. I mean, that wasn't even put on there correctly in the first place, I don't think. Doesn't look like it. Anyway, this area is fenced off as well. Lovely, lovely place for kids to play, sensibly, you know. So safeguarding footpaths and places that people can access is pretty important. Putting barbed wire everywhere certainly doesn't make things safe, it makes things dangerous. And taking away lovely common land areas just reduces the quality of life of people that live in all these different houses around here, you know. Right, so that's the end of my mini documentary that just covered the Borsey pits quickly and Ashwickham common lands. There's more lands around here and local people will have knowledge. If anyone wants to take film and submit it to my YouTube channel, then they're perfectly welcome to do so. Thank you. Another quick one for you here. A public footpath sign. This doesn't look very old, but next to it, do not enter private property. So, which is it? Now, this property isn't private, this property is open access to the public. It's all the land around the lakes, Leziate, Borsey, whatever you want to call it. But here it says, this is a sensitive wildlife area. Okay, but it says here at the bottom, you will be charged with prosecuting. There's not one policeman in the country that's going to charge you with they're going to charge you with trespassing or prosecute you for trespassing. It's not the way the law works. So another illegal sign, and placed in a way which is completely ambiguous. How are you supposed to know if you can walk there? Public footpath sign, do not enter private property. Well, like I said, you have a right to roam. That sign's illegal because it's saying charged with trespassing, and it says private property. This has never been private property, you know. I don't mind other species having land and stuff, but I'd like them to have their own houses, you know. Toilets for all different species, so if you go for a walk, your friends can have wheeze and poos. They should have their own houses. They should have their own houses and their own respect, not be treated and kept as slaves. Anyway, I'll leave it there on this one. I mean, yeah. So there's a fairly new sign here. Fishing by permit only. Borsey Estate, it says. Fishing. I mean, surely fishing isn't allowed, is it? I was saying, surely fishing isn't allowed. I mean, that's murder. Fish people don't like having hooks put through their mouths. That's not nice. Oh my word. I mean, hasn't the rest of the world made fishing illegal? Oh my word. So I'm at the end of Roydon Common Road again. This time in the light so I can show you where I am. Now this road is a very old road, people have walked this road for a long time. I think they might be trying to privatise this road. This is the access to Roydon Common. Why there's a gate on there, I'm not really sure. But yeah, that's a common land there, that way, Roydon Common. Hence the name Roydon Common. On this other side, there's lots of common land that's been fenced off as well, look. There's like barbed wire on there. But as you can see here, these Norfolk County Council barriers that somebody, you know, thinks should be here, I go through here and leave these open. They keep closing them again. I have a right to go through here. This is a public access footpath to common land, onto a road. Now look here, barbed wire securing these, which is also, that's illegal to do that. It's dangerous. See that? Just using barbed wire to wrap around these. Now, someone keeps putting these barriers back. It's actually illegal to block a footpath. I think what, like I said before, what they're trying to do is potentially privatise this road. They're trying to reduce footfall to justify a privatisation of this road. I think that's what's happening here. Considering everything else I've seen, if you haven't seen all my documentaries, check them out. But considering everything I've seen, I think that's what might be going on here. So, once again,
West